Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back, welcome back. Let us hope that Mother Nature is not quite so angry today and that I might just maybe be able to stream. We can hope, right? We can hope and pray. Let's get rid of this caption. We are still playing RoadWarden by Moral Anxiety Games, as you can certainly see. Today's splash screen says, each traveler sees with different eyes. That is definitely the case with me and chat. So, hello, chat. Yes, here's to hoping. Sorry, awkward. Welcome in, everyone. I'm a little behind today, as you can tell, but we're doing it. We're here. So yeah, let's get back into this. We were in the middle of things when technical issues and Mother Nature decided to mess with us. So we have made our way all the way over here to the fishing hamlet, and we have found a person living there. Very early on in the game, we were told in Howler's Dell, which is just over here, by the mayor that at one point she sent a daughter off with the previous road warden, who we have yet to run into in any way, shape, or form, alive or dead, um, to be married. And she never made it. Presumed dead. Or at the very least, presumed shell walking around undead. Because the fogs bring people back if you're not careful. But so far, we found her alive. Surprise, surprise. She's alive. She's mad at her mom, adoptive mother, to be fair, but she's mad at mom. And we were in large discussions about all of that, as well as the conversation that we were having with her, and it was very interesting. And then Mother Nature was like, no, you cannot stream today. I'm going to knock out the internet over and over again for hours on end today, because I feel like it. So that is where we ended yesterday, very abruptly, very quickly, and I'm so sorry, chat. I missed you guys so much. We lost a good half an hour to stream. It was terrible. However, we back now. It's all good things. One moment. I know, I'm behind. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, you guys. It's all my fault. But yes, we here. We doing things. All right, so let's see where we were. We can go into the archive to see what we've missed. So what we asked eventually was, what's in it for me? Yeah, especially the penguins, Trav. Especially the penguins. Like, let's be honest. Penguins are entirely my fault. I will definitely own up to that. The penguins are definitely my fault. Okay, I think I'm done. Hey, K-Schwiggle. Welcome in, welcome in. We're running behind. It's fine. But I'm glad to see everyone. All right. So she chews on her lower lip and straightens up. A favor for a favor. She looks into your eyes. Keep my secret, and one day I'll help you back. In the wilderness, my talents are of great value. She raises her bow slightly. One that's been able to stay alive all by herself for half a year, which is, I mean, no small feat in this part of the world, to be quite frank. So, We can say you don't have the right to hinder the well-being of the entire village, which I don't really agree with as a response at all, because as has been established, Howler's Dell feeds their people just fine without fish, can trade for fish from Gale Rocks if they would like to. And outside of being able to fish their own fish, they basically have everything else that they need. There's things that they want, certainly, absolutely, but they don't have much in the way of actual needs anymore. So saying that this archeress does not have the right to hinder the well-being of an entire village is kind of a bitchy response, in my opinion. Especially considering the things that she's said. And we have established in the conversation that she's mad at her mom for she's reached an age where she wants to establish her own individuality. Her mother has not respected that at all because she's the mayor of Howler's Dell, and she wants to further Howler's Dell in a very ambitious way. And so there's been kind of this clash between generations, between mother and daughter, between mayor and a girl she raised that could be potentially useful politically speaking with the other villages in the area, as a way of establishing relationships and trade and etc. and so on. As I said, Theus is a very ambitious woman. So they've, and now we have this girl who wants to establish her own identity, who wants to be a hunter, an archer, a person who can hold her own in this world, was raised in this area, and does not necessarily want the same things as her mother or the mayor, but has watched her mother run Howler's Dell and has some idea of what that entails. So the hamlet was abandoned for reasons. Pretty much it was just cut off from a landslide. Whether the landslide was done on purpose or was a natural occurrence, we're not entirely certain. It's not particularly stated anywhere whether or not it was done on purpose or not, but it was absolutely abandoned in the process of being cut off. And so she, for the last half of a year, because that's how long she's been missing, presumed dead, she's been living here by herself on her own, proving to anyone who comes across her that she's capable of doing so in this very dangerous part of the world. So she's clearly capable in her own right, and she wants to be able to show up at Howler's Dell and say, hey, I'm claiming the hamlet for myself. I'm going to grab my friends from Howler's Dell. We're going to go live there, and you can trade with us. Like, that's, from what I've gathered, her plan. She hasn't stated it specifically to that degree, but that's the implication in this conversation. So saying that she doesn't have the right to hinder the well-being of an entire village is kind of bitchy, because again, Howler's Dell is very well established, has been there for a while, and it's not a hindrance to Howler's Dell's existence so much as its ambitions, to be quite frank. And I'm ready to give you my answer, which is the other thing that we can say. We'll finish this conversation and we'll have to decide whether we're siding with her, whether we're siding with Theus, etc. and so on. Like, I'm not sure what all the options are going to be, but those two are definitely a thing. Right, Trav. But I mean, to be fair, we also ran into harpies on the way. Like, as soon as a place is not well traveled and well guarded enough, the local monsters / wilds / flora and fauna essentially come in and start establishing their own routines. So the landslide cut off the ease of travel between the two places for reasons that have not necessarily been thoroughly explained. Just that this thing happened. Whether it was from sabotage or natural causes doesn't particularly matter, though we did find a corpse in the midst of the rocks, so it's possible it was sabotage. But the Hamlet would not have survived without the many things that Howler's Dell can provide, seeing as it's the city, village, town, whatever, next door, for the moderate group of people required to keep the Hamlet up. So that's pretty much what it comes down to. Like, she's clearly been able to survive on her own for half a year, but to actually reestablish this Hamlet, fix the defenses and the buildings and make it all usable and functional again, is going to require a handful of people. Some who are skilled builders, some who are skilled in other things, especially fishing, etc. They won't have the space to grow their own food like Howler's Dell already has up and running and established. They won't have space for a lot of animals that aren't just transportation for carts and such like that. So it really, especially considering how wild the land is and how difficult the trek is over, you can't really get goods across without that place cleared. So it only took a moderate-sized group of people half a day to clear it up, but it was actually a fairly dangerous prospect without someone like a RoadWarden or a group of soldiers to handle the harpies, to handle the undead, to handle whatever came your way. So yes and no. Like, in our real world modern terms, it was hardly anything at all that should have been a problem. But in this world, it was a dangerous proposition, even if it only took half a day to clear it up. We had to escort all those people out there, keep an eye out for problems. We had to keep an eye out in the rocks for any hidden corpses, which we did have to deal with. And then later on, keep an eye out for the harpies that could have descended upon us and wreaked havoc. Like, it was not an easy thing. It just was very simple, if dangerous prospect. So that's my thoughts. Sorry, awkward. So many thoughts today. But I will leave it up to chat, as always. 1 or 2, what shall we do? Chat, I'm depending on you. We have 4 viewers, so 2 to 3 people weighing in on this vote. I have discussed my point of view thoroughly, and if we end up with a tie, I end up being the tiebreaker, and I grumble at chat every time and try to guilt you into not making me make decisions. So you guys tell me, 1 or 2, hinder or ready. Those are your numbers and your keywords, because that's how we roll here. You can pick number or keyword or both, or thought, but generally keeping to the numbers and or keywords helps me a lot. And while you guys vote or think about voting, I'm going to get some water. I'm aware you don't think that much of her. She is young, and she has not thought it through entirely, but she's not entirely wrong either. Like, this is not a 1 is clearly right, 2 is clearly wrong situation. This is very, very, very much a both points of view have some amount of validity to it, but no plan survives first contact with the enemy, as anyone who is a tactician knows. Trav and Sari have voted, and they've tied the vote. Does anyone else want to be my tiebreaker today? 1 or 2, hinder or ready? Someone please tiebreak it so I don't have to. I would appreciate you. But sorry, awkward is back to his refusal to tie break things. He just wants to make me make choices. But the twos have it. Thank you, Kay Schweigel, for being the tiebreaker. I appreciate you. I'm not going to be the bitchy person. I'm just going to give her my answer. I'm ready. She observes you in silence, drawing short lines in the sand with her foot. So, our options are Theus deserves to know the truth. I know you'll gamble on axe throwing again, and you'll still end up being my tiebreaker, so make peace with that, my dude. As far as I'm concerned, dude is a gender neutral term, by the way. But either Theus knows the truth, which is 1. I'll cover for you. I trust you'll put the time you have to good use, which is 2. I'll cover for you, but only until spring. You can't take this place away from Howler's Dell, which is 3. Or we could lie for the very first time ever and say you have nothing to worry about. I've got your back. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Theus, time, spring, lie. 1 is Theus, 2 is time, 3 is spring, 4 is the lie. What shall we do, chat? What shall we do? I agree, Trav. When this comes up, we won't lie. We will absolutely not lie. We've never lied in our entire lives. I can show you on the character sheet. It's blank there. That's how little we've lied. Kay Schweigel says 2. I'll cover for you. She's sided with the girl on this one. Sorry Awkward says 3. She was desperate enough to fake her own death to get away from Theus. I sympathize with her so much. We'll only cover for her until spring. Although we could leave at any time. Like we may not stay till spring. So this would be like, I'll cover for you until spring and then I'm sending a letter. Or something. You guys have tied it up again. 1, 2, and 3. Technically, what we have here is 2 options to side with Theus and 2 options to side with Aegida. Feel guilty, chat. You're making me make choices. Choices are hard. Just feel very guilty. That does not mean anyone has to flip or change their decision. I'm not asking for people to like, nope, I've decided something else, which happens a lot in my chat. It's not necessary. It's cool that you guys picked what you picked. But this is a very tough decision. Theus is a mother and a leader, and I see her point of view. She's very ambitious, but at the same time, that ambition has consequences, and some of those consequences are your kids decide to go their own way. They refuse to do what you want them to do. As a daughter who has some experience in this situation, I feel for the girl. I do. I feel for her. I understand her point of view. I do not think that she's old enough or experienced enough to do this. Yeah, the druids also asked us not to give Theus the Hamlet. Do we even like the druids? Like, technically speaking, the druids are also pagans. They are also pagans. They're technically sort of kind of a same religion adjacent. I say that because we are from a village in the south, so our specific brand of paganism is different from theirs, but not so different that we don't have things in common. Yeah, they kind of think that we're meddling scum. We do like the old man, but at the same time, the old man everyone's made us earn their trust, but the old man was the nicest about it in a way, sort of. Like, he was like, oh, it's you. We kind of believe the same thing. We're not from the same place, but we kind of believe the same thing, so that's cool. I still don't trust you, but it's cool. Kind of grumpy old grandfather, Lee. He is. I'm not unfond of him. Hey, welcome in, Winter Fairy. Welcome in. We have the hardest decision to make possible. I also believe in telling the truth for the most part, too. I mean, let's be honest, we all love Foggy the most in this entire game. She's like the bestest person ever. She takes no shits. She gives no shits. But she's also like super nice about it. I like Foggy. Foggy's the best. Or Winter will break the tie. Yeah, she could. Winter Fairy, we've got 4 choices. The first choice is Theus deserves the truth about, her daughter being alive and wanting to take over the Hamlet. The second one is I'll cover for you. I'm siding with you against your mom, but I trust that you'll put the time you have to good use. Or I'll cover with you, but only till spring because you can't take this opportunity away from Howler's Dell. Or we could side with Theus and lie and say, I got your back, no worries, and then go tattle on her. Yeah, we don't lie. We do not lie. We don't necessarily have to ever click the option of, hey, Theus, your daughter's alive and she's in the Hamlet as well. So, like, we don't necessarily have to lie. We could lie by omission as well. This game does give you the option to just be like, no, I don't have anything to tell you. So Winter Fairy says 2. I'll cover for you and I trust you'll put the time. So Winter Fairy is basically saying we are fully on the girl's side. Like, her mom's an ambitious, crazy person. We got you, boo. I could veto that. I'm not going to. I'm going to go 2. That feels like our character would just go with 2. So I'll cover for you. We got you, boo. She closes her eyes, takes a few deep breaths, and starts to walk around you with light steps that turn into skipping. There are tears in her eyes. Thank you. I'd hug you, but oh, well. She waves her hand in front of her, drawing your attention to the rags that she's wearing. Agidia asks you to give her a few minutes, and you return to Soda Pop. Once she returns, her hair is combed, and she's wearing a brown linen tunic, slightly darker than her skin, with red trim on its neck and sleeves, long enough to reach her knees. It's as good as new, a relic of Theus's luxuries. All right, we've got more things to say. Tell me about Asteron, or Asteron, or however it pronounces his name. Well, we were promised hugs. Go on, then. I know, right, Trav? Where's my hug, man? She's literally would be like the very first person to actually hug us in this game if she did. Although, to be fair, Ephron, the hunter from Creeks, is a little friendly in a familiar way as well. Although most of Creeks is just like, let's get it on. So I suppose that's part of it. She touches her lips with the tip of her bow. Well, I do not know where he is. I spent little time with him, but he's a stranger with a pure heart, like it's made of iron. She glances at you. He does not talk much. Must be a warden thing, aye? Nay, I will not stay around, he said. She tries awkwardly to imitate a male voice. I ride east. Next. East, I ask? To Howler's? Further, he said. To the Enchantress, maybe? Even further than that. His own words. She looks at you triumphantly. What? That does not compute, because we think that he sailed the heck away. He bought a boat, for crying out loud. Unless we were lied to, which is possible. Oh, he means the tribe of the Green Mountain, I'm sure. That's where they live, away from any road. I'm not even sure how to find them. Maybe one of the forest speakers could guide you. The tribe of the Green Mountain. We actually have run into reference to the tribe of the Green Mountain before, but not much. We don't really know much about them. In fact, let's check the journal, shall we? Groups and places. We don't even have them in here. Like, interesting. We know nothing. Unless... Nope. Tribe of the Green Mountain. Is there a new quest in here now? Nope. Definitely not. Not that I see, anyways. Huh. Interesting, interesting. All right. Could have sailed east. Yeah, I mean, this is a peninsula, so there's presumably a beach on that side somewhere, but dragging a boat or carrying a boat, even by Saurian, through this area without an established road would be kind of a nightmare. I'm not gonna lie. That's true. There is that northeast place that we haven't really seen yet. Hard to say. Hard to say. We have no idea where he is. How did you manage to survive for so long all by yourself? 'Twas not so hard, but it will change now, with the road cleared for larger beasts. She bites her lower lip. I eat birds, some green leaves from the top of the cliff to keep my hair strong. She touches it with an open palm. And I learned how to catch the small fish from the stream. The nights are not much better than in the woods, I admit, if not for my spell, the monsters would have gotten through many times. The door is not enough. My smell is around, you see. They know I'm but food. You're a spellcaster, you ask? And she playfully touches her canine with the tip of her tongue. I've many talents. Pray to not learn about them all. Pray to not learn about them all. Yes, sure. I bet you spent some time working with Aristos. Believe me or not, but you'd lose this bet. Her smiling lip softens her gaze. Erastus did not spend any time with those of us who put their lives at risk in the woods. He was too busy chasing after my sister and building these wooden boxes of his. But he's still young, you know? Give him some time to get smarter. Is it safe to rest here during the night? She points her bow at the broken palisade. I do not know. You tell me. I'm not sharing my shelter with you. Your horse would not fit through the door anyway. Better turn back to Howler's. Oh, okay. Is this your necklace? She doesn't reach for it, and instead lowers her head to your open palm. Nay, 'tis ugly. You found it here. Must be old, from before my time. Have you ever been to the heart of the woods? Nay, we do not hunt for beasts beyond the nearest hills and ponds. If we were to enter the deep roads, I'd have some long preparations to do. Good gamison, sharp blade, healthy shell, food in my belly, and in a sack. She glances at Soda Pop and can't stop her chuckle. And I'd take someone with me, or a group of someones, but you already have all the help you need, I see. Absolutely, Soda Pop is the best. Well, it's time for me to leave. Safe travels, she says with a smile and pats your palfrey's neck. You leave the hamlet, but we will go to the harbor just to fill out the map. You walk by the small garden that carries a few bean plants and not many weeds. You leave Soda Pop behind and take a walk on the wooden logs of the massive bridge. They're in much better shape than the other structures here, and the boat is almost new, still shining proudly from varnish. You look back at the nearby building. While restoring all the structures to their former functionality will be rough, there's a lot to work with. Theus would be pleased. Interesting. Maybe he didn't buy the boat for himself. Maybe he bought the boat for her to fish from. That's my theory anyway. All right, I will go someplace else. We will travel because we must. We must travel to shelter. Oh, shit. We have muddy roads. That's what the problem is. And an hour. So we must seek shelter. It's too dangerous to stay here. You can't sleep here, yet you have to find a safe place as soon as possible. You can find the closest shelter at Howler's Dell, but the creatures of the night are surely going to attack you. So this is the first time that we've not, or well, it's not necessarily the first time. We've done seek shelter before, but we've been close enough that it's not been a problem. This is a bit of a problem. This is kind of a 2 hours and 15-minute travel. So we're gonna have a fun time, guys. Brace yourselves, combat incoming. I literally cannot click on it. Okay, I have to seek shelter. That's bullshit. Our vitality is gonna tank, like, immediately. You ride through the open gate, then carefully dismount. Some of the locals greet you politely, but they keep their distance. After you notice your own smell and the dirt on your clothes, you no longer wonder why. So apparently we just look bad. We will head to the stables. How much money do we have? We've got 20. An ocean necklace. We should probably ask about this in a place where there are fishermen. I'm broke. I'm broke as a joke, stable master. I'm so sorry. He scowls, but we get to fill up our water. We could go see the druidess, like, immediately, apparently. It's late at night. It's the middle of the freaking night. But we could go talk to the druidess, or we could go get some sleep. Which will cost us some money. Yes, our health. Oh no. So let's go get some sleep. We can talk to these people in the morning. It's getting dark and the inn is loud and crowded. The innkeeper lights up the rushlights. The workers drink and the guards are preparing for the night watch. If it wasn't for the presence of the creek and the uncanny lack of beggars, this place would feel like Hovlavin's marketplace. One of the tables is occupied by a dozen or so kids. None of them looks older than 12, and the youngest one, too dirty to resemble either a boy or a girl, is about 6. They are surrounded by their playthings, a mouflon on wheels, an elegant wooden sword, and a painted board covered with rocks, but they are bored and tired. Even though you only get a glimpse of them, the oldest girl notices your attention. She springs up to her feet and approaches you with a few skips. She's already pretty tall, dressed in a worn, subdued tunic, so long that it looks like a sack. So, would it be rude to ignore her? Do we smile and ask what she needs? That is option number 1. Yeah? Let's not encourage her, is option number 2. Or, I don't want to deal with children right now. I say I'm busy and walk by her, which is option number 3. 1, 2, or 3, what will it be? Chat, you tell me. Smile, encourage, or walk on by. Trav says she's not misbehaving after all. If she wants something, doesn't hurt to be pleasant. Although we are half dead and look and smell worse than a hobo. Winterfairy says let's not encourage her. So I have a vote between 1 and 2. Anyone can be a tiebreaker. Feel free to weigh in. 1, 2, or 3. Smile, encourage, or not right now. Those are your numbers and your keywords. Please, chat. What will it be? You tell me. I can't wait to see what we pick. That is a failed rhyme. I is not clever. At least not today. Kay Schwegel for the win. Let's not encourage her because it's the middle of the frickin' night. Yeah, let's not encourage her. She puts her hands together and puts on a grimace of playful misery. Master RoadWarden! Hearing such an antiquated salutation makes it difficult for you to hide your smirk. We here, she points at her group, bored, oh so bored. She puts the back of her hand on her forehead, letting out a deep sigh. Please, master, tell us a story or two, for each traveler sees with different eyes. The last few words sound like an echo of an old tale. So, make room for me at the table, guys, is option number 1, or sorry kids, I'm not much of a talker, and walk quickly away, which is option number 2. 1 or 2, room or walk away. What are we doing? Trav starts off the vote with 1. Go on then, I like how she asked. It's a good style. Winter Fairy agrees, the 1s are in the win. Oh, we've got a landslide vote for 1. Fine, make room for me at the table. The children gather round and ask you for a minute from them to gather their friends and siblings. After a bit of chaos, there's 20 young souls sitting closely to one another on benches, stools, and on the ground. The red-haired twins brought a blanket to lay down on. You have a shorter side of the table, all to yourself. The older kids understand your lost look in an instant. They start to hush each other, which causes an even greater amount of noise. But in the end, there are dozens of eyes staring at you with a mixture of boredom and anticipation. So, what story do we tell them? Do we tell them a tale of our ancestors? Do we tell them about one of our adventures exactly as it happened? Do we tell them about one of our adventures, but we spice it up with a couple of tiny, tiny lies, of which we've never lied in our life? Or do we tell them about Havlavin, its splendor and mysteries? If anyone has questions, I tell them what we know. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Ancestors, adventures as happened, adventures with lies. Or Havlavin, the big city. You guys tell me. Looks like Winter Fairy started off the vote with 2, and K-Schwegel agreed. I'm not entirely certain if Sorry Awkward was voting this time round or last time round, to be quite frank. Please clarify for me, Sorry Awkward. I would appreciate that. Nope. Sorry Awkward's like all about the 2. 1, Trav says 1. I'm unsure that something interesting happened to at least I'm sure that something interesting happened to at least someone, and our adventures would be tricky since they aren't all nice and we don't lie. And Havlavin is a pretty rough place from how we've created it. That is entirely true. It is a rough place. It's rough. Oh no, everyone's changing their mind. All right, the ones have won. Trav has won over the crowd in my chat. Good job, Trav. You are the leader of my community. We will tell them a tale of our ancestors and further their understanding of us. So congratulations to Trav. You have won the vote. The children's excitement disappears, and after maybe a minute, the first chuckle interferes. The oldest girl scolds the laughing boy, and even though he apologizes, he then makes a few excuses. Apparently, your story is surprisingly similar to a legend that's commonly repeated in Howlers. Your version started in a different place and time, but it's pretty much the same. Other kids tell him to shut up and encourage you to carry on. "'Tis different, so 'tis still interesting," says the oldest girl. So, have we lost our zest and we excuse ourselves? That's option 1. Option 2 is, I go on, it's still a great story and I'm proud of it. Or option 3, I go on, but I change some details to make the tale more unexpected. So, are we done? Option 1. Are we go for option 2? Or are we getting creative for option 3? Done, go, creativity. 1, 2, or 3, chat, you tell me. What will it be? I'm counting on thee. Winter Fairy started off the vote with 2. We just keep going. What does the rest of chat want to do? Trav agrees with 2. Let's go. K-Schwegel also agrees with 2. The 2s have won in a landslide. We on it. I go on. It's still a great story, and I'm proud of it. You try to tell the tale exactly how it used to be told, and the mood across the table returns to kind curiosity. The younger children have nothing against hearing the same tale yet again another time, while the older ones mostly focus on the subtle differences in the way you portray your truth. In the end, the gathering thanks you for your time and disperses with good moods. I nod to them and walk away silently. Yay! So, we have entertained a bunch of children in the middle of the night because in this world, you sleep for like 4 hours, you get up for a couple of hours, and you sleep for 4 hours more, and then you get up for the rest of your day. Which is, historically speaking, how people used to function for a very long time. In our modern era, we have gone away with this practice, even though technically speaking, if you live on a natural cycle without artificial lighting, you end up on that sort of thing naturally. It's weird. but we shall sleep. We desperately need the health and the cleanliness, so we are paying some money and sleeping in the room because this ain't gonna fly. No. We are renting. We need it. We are mostly dead. The dark skies won't let go. It's yet another night of rainfall. Never a break. Huh. Stupid rain. Go away. It was the rain that took me out of took my stream down yesterday, so I feel that feels correct to me. Yep, good old circadian rhythm. Sorry, awkward. It's absolutely the truth. You spend the night in peace in a clean bed with a tightly shut window and a warm blanket. In the morning, you find a stool placed by your bed covered with a warm mutton stew and a cold yogurt. Once you get dressed and go downstairs, a young boy who's covered in mud and speaks unusually loud and enthusiastically mentions that soda pop has already been brushed and watered. You nod, but he runs outside without noticing it. The innkeeper is still sitting near the door, from time to time carrying out another bowl of either stew or gruel. Theus is nowhere to be seen. Pyros is sitting on a stool using a knife to turn a log of wood into a new cup. So we could go talk to the mayor, or we could go talk to the druids. I'm pretty sure at this point we have to talk to both. Who are we talking to first? Mayor or druids? Mayor or druids? Although it is early enough in the day, we could make some money. Let's do that first. Nope, never mind, we're too tired. We don't have enough vitality. Okay, mayor or druids? Mayor or druids? You guys tell me. 1 is the mayor vote, 2 is the druid vote. Do not ignore the screen because one person is on one screen and one person is on the other. Mayor or druid, 1 or 2. You guys tell me. What do I do? Chat, please tell me. Winter Fairy has started the vote off with 2, druid. Elpis the druidess, which is a somewhat nice alliteration there. Travis is mayor. Let's not get her more annoyed at us again. We already have some awkward conversations ahead. Yeah, no, that's fair. Awesome, Winter Fairy, make something yummy. I have a tied vote. Whoever votes next is my tiebreaker. 1 is the mayor, 2 is the druid. We have a vote for both. Thank you, Kay Schweigel. My handy-dandy tiebreaker. We're going to see the mayor. Hey, mayor. The guard informs you that the mayor is currently busy, but he'll mention to her that you're waiting. You sit down on a bench and wait for quite a while. When Theus joins you, she apologizes for the wait. Welcome back to our village, Sauron. You wanted to see me. Hey, what can you tell me about the tribe of the Green Mountain? I just made that choice, guys. I just did that because I'm curious too. She opens her mouth but needs a few breaths to respond. I compliment you for finding out about their existence at all. She rubs the back of her neck. I can't tell you much about them. To be honest, I wouldn't be allowed to even if I wanted to. Ma! Hearing the call of a little girl, Theus flinches. It turns out the child is demanding a change of shirt. She points at a large stain on her stomach. What happened here? The mayor asks as she turns away from you to help the girl change, but doesn't wait for her response. I haven't spoken with the tribe in 10 years or so. As a child, I was told that one should never seek their home. She takes a look at her daughter. The new shirt is as worn and dull as the old one. It's an old garment for adults. On her small frame, it looks like a baggy tunic. Very nice. Go play. She concludes absently and looks back at you, sighing with annoyance. My sister used to brag that she saw them once in the woods during their hunt, that they were wearing the faces of animals, looking like the beast folk. She tried to make a mask of her own, but the druids told her to stop fooling around. Kids are liars, my father said. She lets out a quiet titter. Could I ask her a couple of questions? I'm afraid she's with the forest now. A bolt of lightning hit her, right in the head. Oh dear, how do we feel about this startling news? Do we say, I'm sorry to hear that? Or do we go, I see? Heartfelt platitude or neutral, I see. 1 or 2. Chat, what shall we do? Please, chat, I'm counting on you. 1 is sorry, 2 is C. K-Schwiggle starts out the vote with 1. I'm sorry to hear that. What does the rest of chat want to do? I kind of like the euphemism for they've passed away as she's with the forest now. I actually kind of like that euphemism. It doesn't apply in a modern time, but it's very, very aesthetic for this game. Just FYI, that's an opinion I have. Sorry Awkward agrees with K-Schwiggle and also wants to do the heartfelt platitude. The ones are in the lead. Trav, what do you think? 1 or 2? What shall we do? Sorry or I see? Trav must be busy AFK. I will say that the ones win. Let's go. I'm sorry to hear that. No worries. No worries. We just found out that Theus' sister is one with the forest, aka dead. Of which I was saying that I really like that turn of phrase. I mean, it's not applicable in our modern day real life, but it's really just like a nice aesthetic phrase for this game. That's all that we were talking about. No big deal. Eric shows up with a plate of red radishes, salted, roasted, and cut into slices. He invites you both to help yourselves, but before he leaves, Theus grabs his hand and looks into his eyes. They smile at each other without a word. After a few heartbeats, she turns back towards you. I don't really know your plans, Sauron. Are you planning to stay in the north? Maybe find a family? What are our plans? Could have been an Oida mage. There's an enchantress around after all. Could have been just got caught out in a bad storm in a bad way. Random chance lightning strike. These things do happen. It could have been pissed off Mother Nature because Mother Nature has words in this place. But for the current vote, we have 6 options. We have I already have a family and they need me back home. We have I'm not looking for a new place, I want to travel. We have I'll start a new life in Havlavin. We have yes, actually, I think I'll look for a new home here. We have maybe, and I smile politely. Or we have, I look at her sternly, you don't need to know. So Winter Fairy likes number 5, which is maybe, and polite smile. Trav agrees. K-Schwiggle also agrees. The 5s are in the lead. We are not giving her shite today. Maybe, and we smile politely. She frowns, and it's the innkeep who speaks first. The peninsula could use a regular warden, especially one who's not lazy. His wife squeezes his hand gently, and soon after he leaves the two of you alone, her gaze is rather absent. Aw. Hey, I grabbed the necklace I found at the Hamlet. Have you ever seen such a trinket? She reaches for it, but doesn't touch it. In her green eyes, you notice disgust. Let me think, she mutters. No, I can't say I have. An ugly little thing, but tells me nothing. Yeah, this is definitely a Gale Rocks inquiry time. We've got 2 pieces of jewelry that we've picked up randomly that have sea iconography of to some degree. One is actually made out of seashell. The other one has a fish carved in it and scales. It's possible that she's lying. Yes, Trav. It's also possible she does not know. About the fishing Hamlet, she encourages you with a smile. So we could say we've been to the Hamlet and we will get paid. Or we could say, I'm going to take care of it soon and leave this conversation and do it later. It could be Glaucia and Co., but It could just as easily be someone from Gale Rocks who married into Howler's Dell a while ago and then ended up not being at the Hamlet when it was still active previous to this, and it just got lost. Like it could be a couple of things. Clearly, because we have it in our inventory, I'm sure there's more to it than that, but I'm pretty sure we'll find our answers at Gale Rocks regardless. We haven't been there in a while. It's about time we go talk to people over there. Well, someday. However, let's get back to the current vote. We've been to the Hamlet, or we will deal with this conversation later. Sorry, Awkward, if you want to weigh in on this with some hints, you may. Do not spoil if you can hint without spoiling, although you now know that I'm a genius, so I may just figure it out anyway, but feel free. We've decided, but we don't have to do this now. So, 1 or 2, chat, you know what to do. Please tell me true. Decisions are hard. One, you are a genius too. It will give you the choice to omit, I believe. Fantastic. Sorry, Awkward. Thank you for the hint. Winterfairy agrees with 1, so the 1s are in the lead. Anyone else is welcome to weigh in and cinch the vote. The 1s have it. Thank you, Kay Schweigel. I've been to the Hamlet. As she puts on a wide, expectant smile, you notice a few more wrinkles around her eyes. According to your tale, I only mention the good condition of the Hamlet, or we lie. We lie for the very first time in our entire lives and say the Hamlet is uninhabitable, even if empty. Because as we've established, I'm just gonna show people. We have never lied in our life. It doesn't even say none anymore. This is empty. We have never lied in the entirety of our life. This is bugged to not even give us the none anymore. This is a slew of 1s. I only mention the good condition of the Hamlet. You start with the description of the Hamlet. Theus's eyes shine, and whenever she interrupts you with a question, her hands enhance every word. At one point, she calls one of her sons and asks him to bring each of you a mug of buttermilk and a bowl of honeyed nuts. After you finish, she leans back and closes her eyes, though her hand is already reaching for a pouch. I know we said 5, but let's bump it to 8. Buy yourself something tasty from my beloved. She places the coins on the table. I take them. Thanks. Sorry, Awkward, we did not lie. The do not lies have it. Had it. Sauron continues to be a person who has never lied ever in his life. Ever. We all know that all of us in chat, and myself included, have lied at least once in our lives, but Sauron absolutely never. Sticks to the truth. Man cannot be arsed to lie about anything. So, doesn't see the point in it, apparently. So saith chat. She opens her eyes and lets out a satisfied sigh. And I thank you. A good year is ahead of us. We'll wait until fall, give the forest spirits some time to adapt to the path you've cleared. But our patience is already stronger than any healthy wit. She titters. We'll remove the debris before it snows and start building in the early spring. We already have too many farmers. She stands up and adjusts her cape. Wait for a minute, will you? After she returns from the inn, her lips are covered with a new layer of rouge, darker than usual. One of her sons carries a large bag made of leather, and after you peek inside, you find a sheet of parchment rolled onto 2 wooden handles. The scroll is new, heavy, tied with a tight linen cord, sealed with wax. You've proven yourself trustworthy, both to me and to my neighbors, says the mayor. Take this letter to the masters of the guild. May the negotiations begin. With a smile, she reaches out her hand. Do we shake it with enthusiasm? It was my pleasure. Or, without a word, I shake it as briefly as I can without upsetting her tribe. Yep, she won't be bothered until the fall. So, we shall hope that she uses the time well. The vote has started with 2. We shake as briefly as we can without pissing Theus off. What does the rest of chat want for this shake of hand? Was it a pleasure, or do we just keep it all business? Pleasure or business? Not business or pleasure. Pleasure or business? 1 or 2. What shall we do, chat? You know what to do. 1, she paid us. Whether we hand it over to the merchants, well, that's for later. Absolutely. That's fair. So I have a vote for 2 and I have a vote for 1. The vote is currently tied. Please, anyone, break the tie. K. Schregel also wants to shake it with enthusiasm because we got paid extra. So the ones are currently in the lead. Sorry, Awkward. This is your part. This is the part where you can tie up the vote and then make me decide. Unless viewer number 5 wants to hop in on this and vote as well. They are welcome to do so. Though voting is, of course, optional, and I love my lurkers just as much as my voters. But we like to have fun here, and I am playing this game with all of you, not just with the viewers. This is not a TV show. This is a participation show, but participation is optional because I'm nice. Maybe, sometimes. Except when I'm guilting chat. Well, sorry Awkward didn't tie up the vote, so we're gonna go with 1. We're gonna shake it with enthusiasm. Quest complete. I actually completed 2 quests with 1 click. That was pretty epic. Fantastic, she says with a radiant smile. Her hand is as soft as that of a wealthy merchant. Do you need anything else? So back to Aristos. This time her gaze is much harsher. This again? Why not just let it go? After you explain the situation, she scratches the table by accident. Let's just say I won't oppose him leaving our village, but I have no warm words to say about him. Okay, that's pretty neutral. Hey, do you need my assistance for anything? Oh boy. She looks around, then adjusts her cape and lowers her voice. Have you ever spoken with Orientus, the necromancer of White Marshes? I haven't, you respond, and she bursts into laughter, so unprompted and loud it makes you quake. Have you been to my favorite spot, right behind the corner? Sometimes all I want is to take a nap there, with a cat on my lap and mint to say at hand. Come, I'll show you. Once you reach the boar pen, the noise of work and conversations is suppressed by the humming of water. The mayor glances at the window above you, then strokes her lips with her thumb. Let's rest here. She leaves you enough space to sit down with her. The scent of her rose perfume is strong, but this time her eyes are absently aimed at Bion's house. She's the tailor. What I'm going to tell you needs to stay between us, she says hesitantly. Old boyfriend needs to send him a note? It's quite possible. I figured. She crosses her legs, clasping her pale hands around her knee. We need to get rid of the undead. Of the undead or the necromancer? We both know the former won't get away without the latter. Her voice relaxes a bit, and she starts to dangle her sandaled foot. White Marshes is a threat to us all. We ought to burn the wound while it's still fresh. What's your plan? Start with reaching the village. It's not far away from here. Just ride north, and on the second turn east, enter the bogs. Take a closer look. See how many shells they've awoken. How dangerous they are. Just don't mention me at all. Being a RoadWarden affiliated only with Havlavin works to your advantage. On the opposite bank of the creek, a seagull is preening its feathers, unaware that a young boy is trying to sneak up on it with comically raised hands. Maybe the locals will allow you to meet with the priest. Ask him what his plans are. Just don't act hastily and keep me informed. So we have options here. We could ask, explain why you want to interfere, We could ask, you forgot to mention my reward. We could say, what can you tell me about Orentius? Or we could say, I can already tell you this and that about the village. 1, 2, 3, or 4, chat. If you would like, you can tell me which order you want to do these questions in. I have a feeling we may be able to do multiple. But to start us out with 1, 2, 3, 4, explain, reward, tell me, or village. Sorry, Awkward just started the vote with 3. Let's ask about the man. Winter Fairy says top down. Trav says, to be fair, undead are generally, and rightly, considered to be a bad thing. We do burn bodies for a reason, after all. Absolutely. Pretty much all of the major religions burn bodies as part of the funerary rites. Pretty much because the fogs tend to have said bodies get up and hurt people. Randomly. It's not good. Oh, could you imagine that in the real world with our cemeteries? Terrifying. K-Schwiggle also says top down. No worries, K-Schwiggle. I actually do speak fluent typo, so I understood exactly where you were going. Typo happens. I am a fluent reader of typo. I assure you. Trav also says top-down works. Yo. You know what? I'm gonna go for the knowledge first, just because I'm curious. I'm outvoting all y'all, except Sorry Awkward. I'm siding with Sorry Awkward for once. Feel special, Sorry Awkward. That doesn't happen very often, does it? What can you tell me about Orientus? She waves it off. I didn't pay any attention to him back in the day. His tribe had a regular mayor, whatever her name was. One day he revealed himself to be Right's prophet, and somehow convinced his tribe to follow him. I don't think he's left his village ever since. Yep, you were special for a whole 2 minutes, and now you're back to just being normal. Wah, 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 wah. I know, I'm terrible. I'm just teasing you. Don't worry about me. I'm only being silly. All right. Now we're going to do top down. Because that was the other major vote. Everybody wins. I will cherish those 2 minutes for the rest of my life. Aw, that's super cute. Anyways, explain why you want to interfere. The people of White Marshes always kept to themselves, but now we've got no clue what's going on there. It's possible that they had no choice but to seek help in dark magic. But if so, they should have abandoned it years back. Maybe they're building an army right under our noses? Someone needs to get to the bottom of this, and they won't trust a soul who does not sound like a traveler. She mockingly switches to her tribe's accent. Oh, and awakening dead shells is very, very bad, she adds with a chuckle, but it sounds a bit different than usual. Probably more nervous. You forgot to mention my reward? Don't make me laugh, Sauron. Her voice is grim. I'm not asking you for a favor. I'm offering you my help. You think we're the ones who would suffer from the hands of the undead? It's the smaller settlements, the roads, the inns, the travelers who'd take the lethal blow. We can handle the direct threat, but I'd rather see our lives grow in comfort, not conflict. She observes her fingers, rubbing them together, as if she's getting used to a different skin. If the guild were to see dozens of corpses roaming through the north, they would decide it's not worth their effort. Do I really have to explain why you shouldn't stay idle? If you and I act together, I'll invest coins, time, fighters, and supplies. With every word, the annoyance in her voice grows. What else could you want? A blade from cold steel? A riding ibex? A soft shell to warm up your nights? A staff of immortality? She takes a deep breath and falls silent. Wow, I was just hoping for like 5 dragon bone coins, like crazy lady. What will you do if he refuses to release the corpses? I mean, yeah, Trav, honestly, like, Staff of Immortality, I'm down. Like, this place is dangerous AF. Let's go. But I think she was just exaggerating more and more as she rambled on in that diatribe. So, sadly, probably not a staff of immortality in this game, but I could be wrong. I'm no expert. In her green eyes, you find an unwavering confidence. I'll take the matter into my own hands. Well then. I can already tell you this and that. I can already tell you this and that about the village. You waste no time, I see. Theus's voice is warm, but you both look towards the seagull, still unaware of the danger. The boy is just about to jump. So, do we let the kid have some fun by pouncing on a seagull, of which that seagull is about to wreck shit on that kid? Or do we shout, "Don't touch it, it's dirty"? 1 or 2, chat, what shall we do? Fun or shout? Fun or shout? 1 or 2. Keywords or numbers? You know how we do. Rhymes intentional, because I think it's fun. Whether or not you guys enjoy my silly little rhymes for the votes, I mean, I say it a lot, so it's probably annoying, but you know. Let it happen. It will be educational. It will absolutely be educational. That kid will never jump a seagull again. So I have a vote. I have the vote started for 1. Let the kid have some fun. K-Schwagel agrees. Let the kid learn the hard way. The ones are currently in the lead. What does the rest of chat think? I have 6 viewers, so 3 to 4 votes. We will go with the consensus. Winterfairy also agrees, and Winterfairy is a mom. So, like, yeah, let the kid have some fun. Find out. Let the kid fuck around and find out. Oh boy, this is gonna be funny. I let the kid have some fun, because that's the vote that won. The kid grasps the creature and makes a triumphant cry, holding the bird as it squawks in panic and flaps its wings. In a few heartbeats, the creature's neck is hanging at an unnatural angle. Ooh, kid won. Good job, kid. He raises the seagull above his head, waiting for the mayor's approving nod, then takes his prey away, whistling. Your companion lets out a chuckle and leans away, resting against the inn's walls with her crossed arms. So, did you manage to get in touch with the priest? Won't happen. I can try to gain the locals' trust, but I doubt Orientis will listen to reason. After you give her the overview of the situation, she asks you for a minute to collect her thoughts. Resting in the cool wind, she keeps staring in the distance. Once she speaks, you catch no hint of hesitation in her voice. In such a case, avoid meeting with Orientis. It's better for his people to not know how determined you are to stop him. Instead, carry on with your general patrol route and speak with the leaders of the other settlements, at least those who are willing to listen. Tell them we need to unite our forces to enter White Marshes and force the Necromancer to release the Awoken. I'll handle most of the obstacles, but I need at least one tribe to join me. You're the one who'll lead the fighters. We'd rather avoid bloodshed anyway, and you know the bogs better than any of us hunters. Or any of our hunters, I should say. She adjusts her purple dress as if she's just finished a meal. Once you find someone, come here and speak to me, ideally in the morning. We'll begin our preparation. Very well, I'll prepare myself for a difficult day, or wouldn't it be better to abstain from violence altogether? Any attack will end up grim, no matter how carefully executed. Yes, kid seems to have done this before. I underestimated the kid. I did. That was my bad. I thought that kid was going to have beak to the face moment, and it was going to be hilarious, but no, the kid was like, I got you. Snap. Look at what we're having for dinner tonight, which, I mean, fair, but dang. Unexpected. So, current vote, 1 or 2. Chat, what shall we do? Shall we prepare or abstain? 1 or 2, prepare or abstain. How do we feel about White Marshes? K-Schwagel says abstain. Trav says partly 2 and partly, when did we sign up to be a war leader? add in a bit of, is having us do it a good way of passing the blame to us if it goes badly? My apologies for the dog alarm. Dixie is just letting us know that there's somebody at the door. She likes to let us know. She's very protective. She's still not yet 2 and doesn't quite understand that we are the ones keeping her safe, not the other way around. But yes, Dixie the pupper is in the background today. Downstairs, no less. She just, everything carries up the stairs. So it looks like the consensus is 2. We really don't want to be a war chief or a leader or a general or anyone in charge of the fight, because we're not even entirely certain we want to fight with White Marshes. We didn't hang around and check them out and talk to their people that long. Like, we kind of dipped in and went, this place is creepy AF, and then left. So wouldn't it be better to abstain from violence altogether? If you want to avoid unnecessary violence, she stands up slowly, her tone having run out of patience. Find me 2, maybe even 3 groups of fighters. The more of us there are, the dumber it will be for the defenders to oppose us. Fine, I'll ask around. Or, so you want me to organize a raid? I can't agree to this. 1 or 2, chat. What shall we do? Oh boy. What shall we do indeed? Are we in on raiding White Marshes and like gathering everyone from everywhere else into this plan of Theus's to take down White Marshes? Or are we out and like, lady, you crazy? White Marshes just do what White Marshes do. Like, surely we can figure this out peacefully. How do we feel about this, chat? This is a rough decision. Very rough. I'm actually even tempted for the very, 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 very first time to quick save right here. And if I don't like the answer, to quick load and choose again. Trav says, still not a fan. This is war against a rival village. I'm good with undercutting the undead, but by force doesn't sound smart. I think Theus is going on the understanding of a good offense is the best defense here. As in, we get enough people that White Marshes just goes, yeah, sure, don't obliterate us. We will stop now. Please leave us alone. I think that's kind of her thought process here. I do not think it will work. I think the Necromancer is just going to go, well, I need a bigger army of undead. Rise, minions, rise, decimate them all. You know, it's just going to end up in tragedy and tears. I could be wrong. It's not really this genre of game, but it could be. Or, you know, we might piss off a dragon because they kind of live near that area. One of the 3. There's also option 4, which is question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, no, she just asked for some people. Not an overwhelming group. She only added those after... And her thinking is, they might be gathering an army to attack, so let's definitely raise an army to attack them. Yeah. It's a cross between... if we attack first from surprise, they'll never see it coming, and we'll win. And the larger the group, the more likely they're going to back down and stop their shenanigans. Like, it's kind of a combo of those two thought processes. And I see where she's coming from, but again, how much does she really care about her neighbors? She's an ambitious woman, after all. We know this for fact. She wants to make Howler's Dell the Havlavin of the North, essentially. Like, that is her ambitious plan here. And she's willing to do whatever it takes to do that. We've been informing her of the goings-on of the news of the various places. And, yeah. It's crazy. But, I still need a vote here. Fine, ask around is 1, or so you want me to organize a raid? I can't agree with this is 2. Are we in or are we out? Is it a yes or is it a no? 1 or 2, in or out, yes or no? Chat, tell me. Tell me what we're doing here. I'm playing this game with you. We're all in this consensus together. So discuss amongst yourselves if need be, but give me a vote. 1 or 2. What shall we do? Chat, I'm absolutely depending on you because I don't know. Undead can be an effective labor force, says Trav. If Hovlavin moves up here, the Necromancer could supply a lot of basic workers and earn a hefty amount of coin. She's trying to destroy a potential economic rival. That is also fair. Like, we've literally seen the effect of that. Like, White Marshes was struggling hardcore in a marsh. Like, who lives in a marsh? Marshes are not easy to live in. Next to, sure, peat bogs are great, but live in the marshes? Difficult AF. They have like the worst place in the entirety of the north to live in. And they're just trying to get by, essentially. And then they, didn't have enough living people. So, but yes, Hovlavin deeply worships either the right or the united. And they, neither of them like necromancy. Neither of them like necromancy. So, Trav is starting off the vote with 2. I can't agree to this, which may piss off Theus, but, well, is what is. What does the rest of chat want to do? Please, chat, tell me. Tell me your votes. 1 or 2. What are we doing? Chat. Trav has started off the vote with 2. K-Schwegel agrees. Winterfairy's like, let's go. Take it down. And after she put on all that makeup too, yeah, she's a little vain. Not really all that inspired by her vanity. The 2s are in the lead. Does anyone else want to weigh in real quick? Sorry, awkward, feel free. What if I tied it with a 1? I feel bad. Feel bad for me. You're not gonna win. I won't side with you this time. That's what's gonna happen. I'll side with the 2s, just to spite you. Well, and also I don't really want to start a war. We're already keeping knowledge of her daughter from her. Might as well give her what she wants. Nah. She has already accomplished quite a great deal of success. And if she kept things going the way it is, she would live comfortably for literally the rest of her life. And so would multiple generations of her children, both adopted and not. So I don't like her ambition, while interesting, is not necessarily a good idea, especially considering you cut down too much of the wilds and the wrath of the herds comes down upon you. So as a pagan of a sort of a druidic nature animals sort of way, does Howler's Dell need to be any bigger than it is now? Not really. They just need enough of a population to not end up devolving into major incest, really. They don't really need to get any bigger than they are, outside of like the need for fresh blood to marry into every once in a while. Yeah, I'm going with the 2s. The 1s, we're just gonna have to live with that. So you want me to organize a raid? I can't agree with that. So you'd rather put everyone in danger than gain my trust and save them? Despite her fragile shell, she now towers over you. Her scornful gaze makes you look away. Very well, our collaboration ends here. Come, but don't waste my time. After a few steps, you return to your usual table. Thank you for your time, crazy lady. Let's think about rations. I'm not going to buy them here. Thanks. I just wanted to see if there's anything else. Let's go check out the trailer. The trader. You hear Akikos' voice. Here to see me? Just a minute. I usually start a bit later. The man walks by you and goes behind the counter where he starts to unpack and inspect his wares. Speak whilst I'm young. I show him the necklace I found at the Hamlet. Have you ever seen such a trinket? Takes a glance. Nay, I do not buy trash. Oh, great. Do we have anything to sell? No, forget it. We're not selling any of that. We could buy the battle axe for 14. We've got 26 coins, the most coins we've ever had in this game. We could get a brand new battle axe and maybe, just maybe, kick slightly more ass. Not that our old battle axe isn't in good shape. It absolutely is. This is not a priority buy, to be frank. But we could. We're here. We actually kind of need to make more money. We've got things we need to buy. This is not one of them. Deal or no deal, chat. You know the drill. 1 is deal, we buy it. 2 is no deal, we get the heck out of Dodge. Get the heck out of Dodge. Not job. Where did that come from? Brain misfire. Winter Fairy says, no deal. Trav says deal. Probably going to be needed soon because I'm pretty sure we're going to visit the heart of the woods again after we get a grappling hook. Yes. We also need to afford said grappling hook at Pelt to the North. I mean, not that this would wipe out all of our money, but we kind of need to afford said grappling hook, and I don't know how much it is offhand. Wow, I've got 2 votes for deal. Only 1 vote for no deal. Huh. Interesting. I guess we're buying the axe. All right, then. Deal it is. Thank you, sorry, awkward. We will be able to afford it. Buying. Akikos has no other wares. We have 12 coins left, which is crazy. Can we sell the old one? Nope. Cannot. Nothing for now. I walk away. Oh. We have both axes. Well-crafted battle axe, brand new battle axe. It's steel. Yeah, no, it's very nice. So there we go. We've got 2 axes now. We're rocking double axes. We've got an axe for each hand now. Cool. There's the sealed letter. Thank goodness we got this. We could break the seal and see what she's written. Let's not. I'm not gonna do that. Just saying we could. All right then. We out. Hold up. Can't do anything with that. What about this? Nope, we're good there. Okay, cool. Leave the square. So now it's time to go talk to Elpis. I think we're gonna go to Pelt to the North next, actually. We are kind of illiterate. Well, we're illiterate to whatever language is written in these parts. I don't think we're entirely illiterate. I think this is we don't know this language illiteracy rather than we can't read anything ever. But I could be wrong. It doesn't say anywhere in my character sheet either way. Hey, Druid. The building site hasn't changed much since the last day of your visit. She's speaking to a group of children who are sitting on the ground in blankets, but after she notices that you've distracted them, she tells them to return to their homes. I lower my voice. I met Ajdia. She says you don't think much of Theus. When she responds to your brief tale, you can't tell if her whispers is filled with reprimand or appreciation. It does not fit me to put one soul above another. 'Tis true that the mayor pushes the village into a time of struggle, but not because of bad will. That's what she was taught, and what saves her from her own past. Aye, she pursues power, and that's the weakness in it. I do think she needs to change for everyone's sake, but each one of us struggles to bloom, not just her. Her blue eyes resemble light flower petals. Well, farewell then. That's the end of that. Okay. We've got the majority of the day. It's time to travel. I would like to go to the ruins. I would also like to go to Pell to the north. I just want to stop by the ruins and see what's what. We also have a trap over here that we haven't visited in a hot second. Let's check here. Sealed on day 16. Checked day 16. It is day 19. It's been like 3 days. We should probably go back to it. We did not tell Eudocia about her parents yet. So if we stop at the ruins just to stop, and we stop at Pell to the north, and then we can hit up the fish trap and then go here and tell her about her parents. Then we can make the circuit around because we have other places we need to visit. I think that's a good plan for the day. Agree or disagree, chat? Yes or no? That's what I want. I've set the plan. You can agree with the plan or you can disagree with the plan, and we can rediscuss that. What do you think? Do we just bop down south a couple places, or do we run around the map? Sorry Awkward says it's a good plan. Sorry Awkward agrees. I've gotten a Sorry Awkward thumbs up. What does the rest of chat think? Well, that's a great plan and all, but if we leave the fish trap too long, we will not get any fish from it. We've left it there for 3 days already. It's 2 to 3 days, going on 3 days already. So we need to check it soon, which means we need to get back to this location pretty much today. I just want to check a couple of places on the way. That will be very quick stop-ins, grab things, talk to people, go. And then we could end the day here. We do need to go back to the peat fields and talk to the crazy mage dude there, because he's got some stuff we need to buy, but I don't know if we have enough coins for it now. Pell to the north may have the option. Like, there's things. Muddy Roads does slow us down. I think that we can probably get Eudocia either today or early tomorrow, and either way works. We can definitely get to this abandoned watchtower before we run out of time. But I just want to stop at the ruins. The anti-insect thing is here at the peat fields. It's going to cost us coins. It would definitely affect the bug-filled watchtower. It would also affect the ford here, because the insects slow us down. We would get something for both of those things, essentially. Yeah. It's just, we need to go check that fish trap in the near future, is the thing. Should probably go check this foraging ground at some point as well. And this one. I'm gonna go with the plan. My plan. I'm going with the plan. Let's go. We're going to the ruins real quick. We're just gonna pop in because it's on the way. We don't really need to wash in the river. We're pretty good. We don't have the barren field things. Okay. It doesn't even let me do anything in here, so we're leaving. That's all I wanted to see. We go here. I'm gonna go approach the guards. The guard greets you with polite nods. When Dalit gets closer to you with a smile, the brown boar follows her steps. What brings you to us? About the hunters you wanted me to recruit. Her eyes light up. I'm ready to tell you what I learned about Aristos. I'm gonna check the journal real quick. Recruit a hunter. Yep. All the things. All the things. We've learned all the things. Cool. I'm ready to tell you what I learned about Aristos. She hums a brief melody. If what you're saying is true, I'd say we're better without him. She glances at the others. Here, we ain't going to look after broken hearts. We need someone who can figure out their own shit. So whom are you going to hire? With two terrible choices, I'd rather wait another year. She scoffs and prepares her pouch. Thanks, Sauron. You saved us quite a journey, but let us know if you happen to meet someone who could use a risky but good-paying job. She counts down 5 rings, then sizes you up and pulls out a few more. We made 8 rings today off of that. Yay! Maybe I'll find someone. If you have the coin, we could throw dice. We do have the coin. What? We've got 20 again. Look at that. Do we want to try dice for the very first time, chat? Like, we're going to suck and lose money, but we could try it and actually maybe get some gambling experience. To gamble or not to gamble? That is the question. Is it better to waste the coin? Well, we're too tired to throw axes, sorry. Is it better to waste the coin on this frivolous gambling, or is it better to run away with what we have? Trav says, gamble. Throw those dice. Let's go. Let's get some XPs. What does the rest of chat want? I know, sorry, awkward. You can't even gamble about throwing axes with our new axe, no less. Might be good to hire them to handle the goblins, though. It is, but we really need to spend the coins on other things. Like, there's a reason I'm not spending them on the goblins. Or the wild creatures. It's expensive. So, dice or no dice? Chat, tell me. I have 1 vote for dice. What does rest of chat want? Dice or no dice? 1 or 2, dice or no dice? K-Trickle says dice. I got 2 votes for dice. Dice is in the lead. Sorry, Awkward's like, gamble. Let's do it. Let's go. All right, we're gambling. We gambling. Are you gonna gamble your right to tie the vote or to break them? Sorry, Awkward. Here's your last chance to jump in on that gamble. Even Winterfairy's like, dice, let's go. Surely, but we're doing it the right way. All 10 rounds, so it's going to take us half an hour or so. 4 players, each one bets a coin. Winner takes all. Still in? Let's go. We're gambling. The game is new to you, but in no way baffling. 4 people can play at once. The wooden dice are long, with only 4 dotted faces. Every time someone wins a round, they get a point, and the person with the most points at the end of the game wins all the coins. As you play, you don't feel like you have much control over the results. In just a few minutes, you get 2 points, which are now represented by smooth pebbles. You don't really know how you got them. Either you don't get the strategy, or it's just pure luck. Yep, that's the truth. And look, no glitches today. Mother Nature be praised. Let's see how lucky I am. Ooh, we won 3 coins, guys. We won! This time, we actually won money. Time goes by, filled with lighthearted jokes and chit-chat. During the final round, you get ahead of everyone, and the spectators playfully comment on your moves. The winner takes all. 3 dragons are placed on the table, and you put them in your pouch quickly. The table and chairs are moved back into the building, and Dalit thanks you for playing. Is there anything you need? We just made some money. We just made some money. We just made some money. We apparently cannot make money on throwing axes, but we got the dice. So about those goblins. Price is 10. I have your dragons, and there's no soul in the entire ruins. Let's get to it. Or we'll return to it later. We have other places to be, because this will literally, like, we go deal with the ruins, like, immediately. I'll do this on another pass. I have other things I need to buy. Knowledge for creatures, also 15 coins. Hey, is there any discount for friends? Well, depending on the friend. She gives you a radiant smile. Let's say 8. If it's too much for you, maybe ask me after you spend some time around. Show us what you're capable of. Or play dice with us when you have an hour to spare. These folk here, she starts to whisper and points with her thumb at the guards behind. They crave gossip. I smile. Come on, it'll be fun. Ilan told me you love to talk about beasts. She giggles. Oh, don't you say such a thing. You make me sound like an old lady. I'm still a hunter, not a talker. She winks at you. Fine. 6. Yep. So, do we want to spend 6? Like, I'm okay spending 6 coins on this. It used to be 15. Now it's 6. That's a huge discount. And it's less than the goblins. So, deal or no deal? 6 coins or never mind? Chat, you tell me, what will it be? Six is good. Probably helps that we're clean and smell nice. Go for it. All right, I have a vote for deal. Let's spend the 6 and learn some things. K-Schwiggle also says deal. Let's do it for 6. It's a steal. The deals are in the lead. Winter Fairy is coming in with the deal. So let's go. 6 dragons later, we in. Holy shamoli, tamoli, kamoli. Wahaha. That's a lot. She takes the coins with a smile. We can start whenever you want. So, top down, bottom up. Top down, bottom up. I will be ignoring the that's all. That will end the conversation. Usually that one, but today it is on the top. So, top down or bottom up? Tell me, chat, tell me true. Which decision will we do? Yep, there will be a lot of reading. Top down or bottom up, chat? And then I destroy my voice reading for all of you for a while. Trav says, bottom up, bottom up. Let's go, bottom up. Whenever he says top down. Who wants to be my tiebreaker? Top down or bottom up? Ooh, K-Schwegel agrees with Trav. We're going from the bottom and we're going up. So, what about wolves? Are there any unusual breeds around here? Ha! There's a lovely pack of red ones. Those that jump really far, and once they bite you, they never let go. Also some blue wolves. They spend their time spread around, but howl to one another when they find good prey. Trust me, don't ever try to fight a pack. Their furs are valuable, even the gray ones, but the only way to hunt them is setting up a trap. They abandon those that they can't be helped, but not the spotted wolves. They always try to help their wounded. After a brief moment, she carries on. But the furless wolves, those are the worst. They live alone, but are as dangerous as an entire group. Once you find one, you can't even run away from it. You can't scare it off if it's not bleeding. You must stay brave, especially when it charges you. It's going to jump, oh, this high. She raises her hand to her neck. Duck beneath it as quickly as you can. Hey, I'm pretty sure we've killed one of those, actually. Let's talk about another beast. I have to ask about unicorns. I doubt you'll face one anytime soon. There's worry in her voice as she glances at the wall. I only saw them a few times from very far away. We don't hunt such large beasts, you know? You ask her to think if there's anything interesting she noticed, and she takes a few breaths before coming up with something. I hadn't seen more than one of them at once, I think. She asks for a few other hunters, and while most of them agree, 2 people mention that unicorns mate in early spring, but even then, they don't hang around much. You know what people say. The unicorns crave flesh filled with pneuma, but rarely hunt humans, and are only afraid of the largest beasts. Just the usual tales. Interesting. What would you do with an undead, or maybe a group of them? She sighs. Yeah, I don't have any tricks for you. Chop them as many times as you can, like the priests and soldiers say. Crush their bones, cut off their limbs, surround them, outnumber them. Only the dumbest ones, those barely touched by the fogs, can fall into a simple trap. But if you hurt them enough, the pneuma leaves them. Don't ask me how that works. I don't drink with necromancers. When you ask where you can find them, she points north. Well, in white marshes, probably, but also in the deep woods, surely looking to form a new band. Don't worry, though, they won't catch soda pop. Well, that's good. How many trolls can I find here? She looks down. Those fatheads were causing utter chaos across the entire peninsula, especially near the coast. Once they ate a forager from the tavern, we were hired to get rid of them. I thought they were gone for good. Where can I expect to encounter tree ants? Among the swamps, in the heart of the forest? Just like you said, mostly in the swamps. Do you know how to spot them? They have no leaves and their branches are wide and long. They catch birds and animals that get close to them. They use their food to bait other creatures. There may be some in the deep woods, but I don't think soda pop is going to take you there anyway. If one of them catches you after all play dead, don't try to free yourself. Just wait, or it's going to choke you or tear off your limbs. I know it sounds bad. Her voice stays serious despite her smile. But stay calm. It'll put you in its mouth. Only then you should strike. Its inside is smooth. Hit it with a blade. It may panic, then drop you. That's your moment to run. It happened to me once, you see. She puts one hand on her chest and another on her side, as if posing for a sculptor. And I'm still here, but it's better to stay as far away as you can. Good advice. Good advice. I'm sure I'm going to find a spider or two in some of the local ruins. Most of them are in the ruins and the very lush forests. They sit all by themselves, waiting for critters that have lost their way. If you face them, watch out. Their bites are, well, maybe not venomous, but they do something weird. I can't describe it. It melts your skin, and their legs are pointy like tiny spears. There's no point in fighting them unless you're looking for spider silk. After you ask her how to get rid of such a creature, she struggles to find an answer. A really large one? Without a crossbow? A bow should do fine as well, but aim at the abdomen. A spear would be a good choice, and when it gets too close, switch up to an axe or a mace. Or do you mean the smaller ones, like head-sized big? She measures an invisible spider with her hands. They often, spit at their targets or something. You do not want to get hit with it. This web. Dodge it or get blinded. Maybe jump away. Then you can smash it with whatever you have in hand. All good advice. How do you prepare for saurians when they come in so many shapes and sizes? At least not all of them eat meat. She spreads her arms. Those longer than this are the worst, but that's why you keep away from the ponds and the lakes. They stay just at the bank, jump at whatever gets close. You try to wash your hands, whoosh! She claps her hands loudly. Snapped. Even worse with a horse. It will grab it by the leg, and you know how fragile they are, as good as gone. Those all gray are the big problem. All of them eat humans. And look at their tails. If they are thin and swing left and right, they can break your ribs. Yep, we did get blinded by a spider, and we almost got aided by a saurian at Foggy's Lake. So, we've experienced both of those horrifying things. Do many locals have issues with pebblers? There ain't that many forest guardians here in the north, so they sometimes show up out west. The druids get rid of them, and the people of Old Pagos have a pile of mails and iron spearheads, so they know how to fight them off. I'd say there ain't much point in hunting them. You can't eat them or get a good pelt, and their bones are so hard you ain't gonna sharpen one after even a day of work. Dragging their corpse away will take you hours and dozens of hands, so it's all a big waste of time. Better to just discourage them or scare them away. Yep, we've waited a pebbler out before. What can I do about large cats? You ain't gonna do much about them, she shrugs with a smile. The cats won't let you see them. They stalk their prey and jump when you least expect it, like Slash and its claws are in your neck. And have you seen how big they can get? A venomous gets twice as long as your horse. After you ask her if she's sure there's nothing you can do to protect yourself, she twirls her hair. You could do something if it's right in front of you, like if it ain't hunting. If you were smart, you'd stay away, wait for the cat to move. But if you have to, I don't know, be calm, scare it away, pretend you're large. But what are the chances you'll ever be in such a situation? Yeah, they nasty. How should I handle the runners? They keep sneaking among the trees waiting for me to get off Soda Pop. Well, they ain't as bad as dragonlings, you know? At least you can make a roast out of them. You'll outrun them on a palfrey, but if you're on foot, don't even try. Don't hide up a tree, they jump way too high. Wings, you know? She waves her arms, imitating a flying bird. And remember, they strike with their beaks. If they miss, it takes time for them to try again. Be fast, be decisive, or... She hesitates. You can try to buy some time by throwing some meat at it, but only if there's one of them, no more. Let's talk about somebody else. What do you know about the local hunt lords and hunt queens? Is there any ruler yet? Yeah, they don't fight anymore. The latest queen has ruled for maybe 5 years now. Our watchman saw it a couple of times. It's tall and has red and silver fur. I'd recognize its howling anywhere, but please don't tell me you plan to look for it. She looks at you with worry. No human can harm such a being. If it decides it wants you, the best you can do is abandon your palfrey and hope it looks tasty. But hunt lords rarely strike before dusk, so who cares? Stay in the sunlight, like the rest of us. Good advice. What can you tell me about howlers? These things we have problems with, because we have to deal with some howlers. I hadn't heard about someone studying them, you know? Those shouts, she cups her hands around her mouth, are like spells and will make you sick. All it takes is what, a minute or so? Maybe a single one won't be a threat, but they're never alone. You'll see packs of them in the north, and you'd better stay away from them. Or be sure to have as many ways to keep them scared of you as you can. If they ain't afraid, they ain't going to let you live, and will devour you right after they deafen you. That was not as helpful as I was hoping. May harpies pose a problem? Are you going to find them? There should be none in these woods. The thicket is much too dense. And, you know, they're cowards. She simultaneously smiles and shrugs. How much of a threat can they be? If you have to travel where they live, just be sure to have a few guards with you. They won't attack a group of humans, or take a crossbow, or spells. Yep, that's been our experience with harpies. I met a bunch of annoying griffins on my way here. The noble griffins? But they don't live here. It's too close to the ocean. They can't compete with the flying beasts, so they only hunt at dawn. Oh, or do you mean the scrubs? Those are everywhere. Try to scare them off, like from a large distance, or by wounding them before they get into position. In a place like this one, they won't starve. There's a lot of game around. I wouldn't expect them to hunt for human flesh. That's what we did. We pegged one with a crossbow. Maybe you know something about golems? How does one kill a magical being? Well, they protect their owners, so it ain't really something I'd hunt down, you know? She brushes away the hair from her forehead. Oh, you ain't playing around. Well, let me think. It ain't a single hole. She puts her left arm on her right shoulder and pulls it. I don't understand it fully, but I think it's a bit like with the undead. The more parts of the shell you remove, even for a time, the more magic gets to waste. As if it returns to the air? She shrugs and returns to her previous stance. Make a trap, try to hold it, then pull. A rope may work. Don't try to stab it or smash it with a hammer. You can't harm them. She looks at the boar. Or maybe you could just kill their owner, or move them far away. It's impossible to order golems around from a great distance. It confuses them. Good to know. Any goblin packs I should be aware of? We've finished off some of the packs, but they travel all around and move their camps every now and then. Expect them anywhere. If you see a single creature, turn back. Its family is just nearby. If you really want to hunt them, take care of their home. Sink it, ruin it, burn it. Whatever you do with it, they'll move away. They need to hide from monsters just like we do, so they won't stay around. We do happen to know where the local goblin pack is. It's in the ruins. Are there any gargoyles lurking around? They stay where the trees and shrubs are the thickest, in the heart of the forest most likely, waiting for something to get close. Then they jump, ready to bite off their prey's head. The oldest one I've seen looked like a small dragon. It could swallow you whole. What you need to do is keep an eye on the tree crowns, or maybe the thicket next to the road. When a gargoyle prepares to strike, their eyes get red, almost shiny. That's when you need to take a damn crossbow and shoot right into it. Don't use spells, though. They won't do any good. Well, it's a good thing that we don't know any spells. We are crossbow people. Any weird critters getting close to the settlements? I can't say for the villages, but none of them come to our walls. The badgers, foxes, wolverines, and others like to stay in their burrows or in the ruins if there are no goblins around. They don't hunt for fur. You don't hunt for furs, I expect? Seeing your shrug, she goes on. If they bother you, you can bother them back from time to time. Scare them off, you see? Show them their home ain't safe anymore, and they'll look for another one, much less bloody than a fight with a whole pack at once. Hey, we could go scare off the foxes. I don't expect to find a lot of people who live in caves here. Should I expect any corpse eaters? They're not around. There ain't many travelers and settlements here, so they can't feast on humans alone. Last time I saw their claw marks, when was it? A year ago or so? When we placed traps in the northeast near the old watchtower. They stay away from the heart of the forest, so all that remains is the far east. At least they don't move in large packs. Dalt seems to be lost in her thoughts when suddenly she points to your blade. You can handle at least one of them with that axe of yours. Just give it all right away. Hurt the beast even slightly, cut its arm or something, and it's going to run in panic. They're deadly cowards. Good to know. Have you ever hunt down a dragon? We hadn't tried to get close to any of them, not once. Bones are fine and all, but you know what's better? Staying in one piece. As long as they don't storm our inn, I'm just fine watching them cross the sky, listening to their roars. They don't care about humans all that much. We're too small for their jaws, and it's not easy for them to get through our clothes and equipment, but they do destroy villages if they feel like it. I wish I could have a voice like they do. Whenever they roar, birds take off, and the wild game either flees or plays dead. Could be a handy little trick. You know, like this. She looks around, then opens and closes her mouth a couple of times as if she's considering making a roar of her own. Finally, she glances at her companions and gestures for you to go on. I can't always run away from dragonlings. How do you deal with them? She chuckles. Put your horse to use and flee. Most of them are west of here. They stay away when we move in large groups, but oh, do they lurk around. If you really have to fight them, they attack all at once, so you won't make it when outnumbered, and you won't outrun them on foot. Hide up a tree if you're alone, and if not, be sure that everyone in your group has a decent weapon. Getting through their skin is tough, unless you find kobolds. You know, those are knee-high. They're not too dangerous. They won't try to hunt down a human. Maybe if they're starving. Whew. Are there many beast folk around? Ah, she lets out a hiss. Ain't gonna lie, they're too weird. Each one is different. Two of them, one deerhead and one bearfolk, tried to steal a rabbit from our trap. We outnumbered them, so they just grunted for a bit and withdrew. But you know the old tale. Bring the offerings, meat and whatnot, and maybe they'll be kind to you. Something they won't find in the woods, or food touched with Numa. And if you were asking just about the gnolls, who cares about them? They could barely bite your hand. You see a dozen of them, run before they knock you down. You see two, just chop their heads off. They ain't magical, that I can tell you for sure, and they're dumber than wolves. Good to know. Should I be afraid of the local apes? She takes a deep breath, shifts her weight to her left leg, and puts her right hand on her waist. Oh, I could tell you stories. A short chuckle. It ain't so as bad now as it used to be. What's left are mostly the monkeys. They're not much of a threat if you stay away from their land, but they throw things at whatever they're afraid of. Once they get used to you, they'll leave you alone. At least one of the many families that live in the forests. She twirls her hair, thinking. There's a couple of dangerous apes, though. They ain't to be ignored. You've seen at least one fright ape. You know what that is? The gray one with muscles this big? She makes vague gestures around her arms covered by the gamison. If it attacks you, it knows it can easily squeeze you to death. You can't fight it, Sauron. All you can do is run away. Fright apes do not play. Got it. I've been in the watchtower east of here, and it's crawling with bugs. Sure thing. They follow abandoned food. I hate the fat roaches. They give me the creeps. She twirls her hair nervously. They don't like smokes. They stay away if people live in a place during spring and autumn, but they're also scared of some herbs. Maybe ask in White Marshes for a balm. Worst thing that can happen is that you'll find one of the 100-legged ones, those larger than your boot. But they mostly stay near tall grasses. Maybe they won't get inside. The wolves aren't that dumb. Apparently, most of the beasts are less dumb than wolves, though. Well, that's everything. So that's all I need to know. That's fair, sorry, awkward. I want to spend the money on things that I need to spend money on. The grappling hook, maybe a spirit stone, possibly a bug remedy, like dealing with the goblins in the ruins is not a very high priority at this point. Just FYI. I am going to enter the inn and talk to the innkeeper. But thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry, awkward. I do appreciate that. That is a good thing to keep in mind. Yeah, they did say that before. It's not that we would go off with them immediately. It's more along the lines of like, we spent the coin, but we don't necessarily get anything out of the deal except for the fact that they are no longer in the ruins. That's really all the perk, which would be helpful in the long run, but right now it's not a huge priority for us. They don't bother us. We don't run through that place in the middle of the night if we can help it. The windows are open, and while there's a few guards eating and drinking, the hall is clean. The innkeeper is standing behind the counter preparing a set of mugs. Tulia is looking through the window. Well, he nods to you. There ain't been a lot of trade going on here, but things are starting to change since your arrival. Are you looking for something to buy? Show me your wares. We could buy the elk fur and sell it somewhere. We could also afford that and more rations. Not that we specifically need rations that much, but yeah. That would cost us all of our coins. However, the elk fur we could sell elsewhere for mucho monies. So it's an investment. So chat, are we buying one of everything? Let's see here. The vote is both, elk, food, neither. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Both, elk, food, or neither. 1, 2, 3, or 4, chat. Both, elk, food, or neither. She mentions it before. It's just we received that quest near the very, very beginning of the game. And it's been a while. Yeah, the elk fur is totally worth it. I don't know who we will sell it to, but as long as we get more than 16 coins for it, we've made a profit. Probably Foggy's, possibly Howler's Dell, possibly Creeks, or like basically anywhere that's not Hell to the North. We can possibly make money off of this elk fur. But yeah, we only have a single ration. We've got a little bit of extra other stuff, but we only have a single ration, so we should probably like at least grab 3 more. It'll only cost us a coin. It just, if we grab both, it's all of our coins. But the elk fur is an investment that we will be selling later on for more coins to buy more shit with. So I believe we've done 4. Sorry, awkward. So I believe we've done 4, maybe even 5. So yes, we actually could afford the spirit stone, possibly off the bronze rods, but yeah. K. Schwegel started the vote off with food, which is 3. Sorry, awkward has agreed. Just the food, please. What does the rest of chat want to do? 1 is both, 2 is elk, 3 is food, 4 is neither. We get out of Dodge. Winter Fairy has said just buy the food, we'll deal with the fur another day. That's the consensus. So we're just going to buy the food. And enjoy your errands, Winter Fairy. Take care. I'm about to wrap up stream anyway. So we buy the food so that we have it. And that's all we needed here. Except to show me the wares. I can't buy that. Is there anything else? Nope, he doesn't want any of that. About Glaucia's band. He freezes, observing your hand silently. Theus has sent me to the other villages. The bandits are focused on White Marshes, so she's not interested in your deal. We made more money! Hey, look at that. Without a word, he puts your payment on the counter, then glances at your nose. I appreciate that you've been so thorough. You've already done more than I've asked for. I still have the crossbow to sell, so let's say we'll lower its price. Just for you, keep up the good work. He walks towards the window, opens it, and looks outside. I was afraid it might be like that. Times will get rough, yet there may never be a threat large enough to unite this bunch of anarchists. He rests his hands on the windowsill. I have another job if you're interested. I'll pay you 10 coins for finding out what Glaucia really wants. Ideally, not by a direct question, but if there's no other way, he shrugs. He turns back to you and for a few words looks into your eyes. And better act before she marks you as her next prey. Being a lonely traveler and all, work with me and I'll do my best to keep you safe if you ever decide to hide behind our walls. Let's say I find her. Any tips on how to get on her good side? Assuming she has one, I only have one tip for you. If she sees that you can be broken, she won't hesitate to make it happen. So, yeah. No, actually, I think we just got the crossbow. No. Do I have anything new here? I don't. Yeah, I don't have anything new here. Weird. I don't know. Weird. But yeah, we got some stuff. We made some monies. The crossbows for the other classes to gain access. Awesome. So, yeah, the other classes now has access to crossbows, but we started with one, so yeah. That's all I need. It's too early in the day to sleep, but this is where we're stopping. We are stopping at Hell to the North. This is the end of my stream. Which is fine. Like, it's cool. We didn't really need it, so I wasn't really worried about it. I we got paid. That's what matters to me. Yay. So yeah, this is where we finish. Today's stream. We will be continuing with RoadWarden and our running around to finish the side quests tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, because that's the time zone I live in, Eastern U.S. time. If you are not in Eastern U.S. time zone, feel free to Google what time it would be for me to start. But it's 1 p.m. Eastern U.S. and we've been playing RoadWarden for a while now. We have basically finished up the main quest. We could end the game at any point in time by talking to Tulia in Pelts the North and getting the heck out of Dodge. But as my journal will show, we has many quests still to finish. We could leave, but we don't really wanna. So we will be back again at this tomorrow at 1 p.m. right here on my channel. I also have a YouTube channel with a playlist that has all of my videos on RoadWarden, as well as the playlists for all of my previous games that we have played on this channel that you guys can check out. The same name of my Twitch channel, Mayrin Althea Tover, is how you will find me on YouTube. I think that there is a link to my YouTube in my stream banner. I could be mistaken. I should double check that at some point. But yes, I do save my VODs over on YouTube because I am not a cool enough Twitch streamer to save them here. So I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their day. It is Tuesday, and it's been a fantastic Tuesday with all of you. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, I see all of you back again for the rest of RoadWarden. Take care, everyone.